Alright, in this video we are going to attempt to do a semi-temporary install of the new Unifi AI LPR camera. And in the spot where I want to install it, the reason this is going to be temporary is because the distance and angle are not very good, and I'm not sure if it's going to pull recognitions correctly. But I do have a gutter downspout on that corner of the building, and so what I'm going to do is use one of these downspout mounts for Unifi Bullet cameras and do my temporary install that way. That way I'm just using heavy-duty zip ties and I'm not putting screws in the building. Now, when I was playing with this camera, one thing that makes this camera different than I think every other Unifi Bullet camera is that it has a pigtail, whereas the regular G3, G4, G5s, the Ethernet connector is in here, so you fish your cable inside. Same thing for the AI cameras. So what that means is mounting gets really complicated because with all the other cameras, you could first mount your camera plate, the base plate, and you could have your Ethernet cable ready to go, and this could be screwed to the wall. And then you bring your camera in and install it, and you just screw the camera base down. However, with this camera, you can't do that because this needs to fish through the base plate. So you essentially have to hold the entire weight of the camera up while you screw this mounting plate down. And I think that's the only way to mount this, unless I'm missing something. In which case someone can tell me in the comments what I'm missing here. But so I already tested this camera, the weight of it. I was concerned the weight would be too much on a downspout, so I tested it on this short piece, and that works totally fine. However, my target downspout is going to be, this is a 3x2 inch. I'm going to use a 3x4 inch, so it's going to be sitting on a larger belly of sheet metal, so I'm worried about flex, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But I'm going to reuse this mount, so I'll try to cut it free here. See if I can do it without scratching the gutter. Okay, so this is what the gutter mount looks like, downspout mount looks like. So you kind of, the idea is that you fish your cable in from the back, screw your camera plate here, and then the cable can exit either top, bottom, left, or right. And then there's this cable seal. So here's the same guy in white. And normally what we would do is, there's 4 paths for the cable to go. You have to open one of them up, but then you would feed your cable in, use this flexible cable seal, pop that on the cable, and oops, oh, I got it backwards. That whole deal snaps in. And then what I already did on this one was to open up one of those ends. Now, because of the way this camera mounts with the pigtail, I'm actually not going to use that now. I'm going to use this passage on the base plate. That'll be easier. So, all right, so that's the plan. We're going to mount this on the downspout first. Got my zip ties here, got my waterproof connectors, and then when that's on, we will bring the whole camera and screw this on like that. So I'm going to have to screw these on while holding the camera. Now I think what I can do is put one of these screws on. That way that's attached, and then I can feed this in and turn it like that. So I think that'll work, make things a little bit easier. All right, let's get outside and see if we can make this work. Okay, really quick, I just realized I actually have a piece of this larger gutter in stock, so this is what I had it installed on before. And this is a 3x4 gutter, so what I was talking about is the belly of this is much more flexible, so we're going to have to see if this is what it's going to look like. And we're going to have to see if it holds the weight of that camera without flexing too much. But I went ahead and pulled my zip ties through. I've got the base plate tagged on there and my extra screw waiting to go, so hopefully I won't drop anything in the leaves when I'm outside, and we'll make this work. Alright, here I am. This is the corner of the house that I want to mount to, and I kind of want to put the camera right about here. Now, inside I was talking about how I was worried about the flex of this wider gutter downspout. It occurred to me I could mount it on the side where it's more rigid, but I think we're going to try it just like this and see how that goes. So I've got my, you can see now also why I used white zip ties. I mean, I have a white downspout. So let's get those spider webs out of there. And I think I want it a little higher. Okay, that looks good. Now, my kind of rule of thumb for these is to get it as tight as I can by hand. And then do like one more click with pliers. I might do 2 more clicks, let's see. See if we can get, oh, there's one more, okay. So that's pretty stiff. For that big camera, it's probably not quite as stiff as I'd really like it to be. If this were going to be a more permanent install, then I would use stainless steel band clamps or hose clamps, and those are absolutely rock solid. So, but this is a temporary test, so we're just going to use these zip ties and not scratch up our gutter downspout. So let's grab the camera and see if we can make this work here. Okay, so like I explained inside, we're gonna have to hold the camera while screwing this base plate down. Alright, so I think for testing purposes, this isn't so bad. It does have some flex that's coming from the face of the gutter flexing. Let's try to see if I can get one more click out of this. Hopefully not damage the zip tie. There we go. So, like I said, if this were going to be more permanent, I would use stainless steel straps, or I would eventually resign to just screwing into the building, but we don't even know if this location is going to work, so this is perfect. So let's grab the waterproof connector here. Actually, I don't know if this waterproof connector is going to work. No, it's not. So that's unfortunate. So if you have a cable with a boot already on it, like I do here, you can't use the waterproof connector because you can't get the hardware to slip on. So none of this stuff fits. Oh well. I guess I'll just connect this and I'll tuck it back behind the gutter, and I don't know, maybe I'll come wrap it with some of that rubbery tape stuff. But that's unfortunate, but at least we'll be able to test it. This house has huge soffits, so it probably won't see any weather. But yeah, that's the Unifi LPR installed on a gutter downspout using our adapter plate. So hopefully that's helpful, and this will let me get my experiments done. I'm not going to show the setup of all the camera. There's videos out there that show that. But all right, thanks guys. See you later.